Hi everyone, we're going to be making the clip pin cushion today, just like Misty Doan did in her video. She was making 8 of them. We are only going to be making 2 in each kit. So this is what a finished one that is not stuffed looks like. And here is how we're going to do it. So I am taking the pieces of fabric that you should have in your kit that are colorful. And what I did is I just lined up light with dark, like this. And each of these pieces are 2.5 inches by 4 inches. I marked a line down the center, and now I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch to the right and then also a 1/4 inch to the left, and each of them will create 4 stripes. So when I'm all finished, I'll have 16 stripes. When I'm done sewing, I will cut right here on that center line and I will press open. So follow along, and pretty soon we're going to have a really cute clip pin cushion. Okay ladies, the next step is we're going to take our pieces, our 2 sets of strips that we sewed together, and we chain piece these all together. So you can see there's 8 of them and there's 2 strips on each one. And now we're going to sew it together into a set so that there's a total of 8 strips, 2 sets of 8 strips to make the top of our pincushion. You can put it in any order that you would like. And remember, if you don't want to do strips like this, you can do skinny strips and wider strips, or you could do it where you cut it again and you make little squares, or you could sew it together on the diagonal. It's totally up to you how you want to piece your top together. This is just the way Misty Doan from Missouri Star did hers, so I was following the same way. Now for the next step, you're going to be doing a little bit of quilting. So I have my batting cut a little bit bigger than the top of my pincushion. I did not trim down my pincushion top yet. I'm going to quilt it first, and you can quilt it however you want. If you want to do straight lines, if you want to do a fancy stitch, if you want to do a diagonal, whatever way you prefer, you're going to quilt the top of your pincushion. Now that you're done quilting, the next step is to trim the top up to 4 by 6, both of your tops. And then you're going to want to trim your backs to 4 by 6 also. My backs were cut 4 by 8, it looks like. So I'm going to want to trim those to 4 by 6 as well. Next, we're going to work on the clip strips. So these go on the sides of the front of your pincushion. So notice we did not put a border on our pincushion like Misty Doan did. We just left it as the strips. The border is just going to be the little clip things for us. So you need to measure your borders well, because we had gone back and forth on a few different patterns and designs for this until we got it just perfectly the way we liked it. So mine was cut 2.5 by 8. You're going to want to leave the 2.5 because we're going to take in a seam allowance, but you want to cut it down to 5.5. So 2.5 by 5.5 is how I cut it. Next, you're going to iron it, fold it in half and iron it. And then so I'm going to fold it in half, each one. I just picked up 2, I know that, but just each one. And then all you do is sew the short sides down. So you're just going to sew these little short sides. You don't sew the long side, just the little short sides. And I'll show you what you do after you do that. Okay, the next step is you're going to turn your little clip strips right side out. So you want the raw edge facing in. And notice here, I poked it with a nice little poker. Here, this little tool I used, which is just a skewer, or you can use any kind of poker thing that you have for poking out your corners, poking your corners. So here it is. I'm turning it, and I haven't poked this one yet, just to give you an example. Then what you're going to do is take your strip of batting. Now you should have a strip of batting about 1 inch by 5 inch. If you have enough, and I will bring some extra batting, we're going to be making this 2 inch by 5 inch, just to give it a little bit more stability for the clips to clip to. So I went ahead and put my batting inside, and I folded it. So this was a 2 by 5 inch, and you might have to trim the ends just a little bit to get it to fit better. Then you're going to take and top stitch all the way around. I was just being lazy and used a light gray on this one. A dark gray probably would have looked a lot better, but I just used a light gray. The other thing that you can use on these instead of batting is you can use a product called Soft and Stable. So we will have that product with us tomorrow as well, if you're interested in putting that in instead. That makes it a little bit stiffer and a little bit nicer for your clips to hold on to. Okay, the next step is you're going to take your raw edge. So find your raw edge, and you're going to find the center of your strip. So just fold it in half. I just marked it by creasing it well. Make a little crease to make a center, to find the center of your strip. And then take the top of your pin cushion, and you're going to make a crease there. Crease it really well. Find the center, and then you're going to line up, remember, the raw edge with the center of the raw edge on the front of your pincushion top. Okay, so you're going to do that for all 4 sides, and you're going to be sewing around. So here's the one that I just finished sewing around. So here's your little flaps. Oop, and that didn't even catch, but it'll catch when I get the 1/4 inch, so it'll be fine. And then I'm going to put my back on, and now I'm going to use a generous 1/4 inch. You could even go a little tiny bit bigger than a 1/4 inch if you would like. And I'm going to sew all the way around, but I am going to leave on one of the long sides about a 3 inch opening. Don't forget to leave a 3 inch opening. I often will take a couple of pins and pin it here and here just to remind myself to leave that opening. Okay, see you in a few minutes. Now the next step, you are going to take either a piece of muslin or any scrap fabric, and you're going to cut it the same size as the top of your pincushion, or just a little bit smaller. So mine, I decided to cut 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. So it just needs to be about the same size as the top of your pincushion, or just a little bit smaller. You're going to sew all the way around here. Leave a little bit of sewing here. Sew here, all the way around here, 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 and up here, and leave a nice good opening at the top, because this is the pocket we're going to use to fill with our walnut shells. So I left a little hole there for the funnel, and what we typically do is put this in like a mug and hold open the opening, put a funnel in it, and put the walnut shells in it, and then we're going to sew it closed. There is no need to turn it inside out. You can leave it just like that, because it's going to go inside your pincushion and no one's going to see it. So the pin cushion is going to get stuffed with a pouch of the walnut shells, and then stuffing, or it can also get filled with, I think we were saying, like the polyfill, the little poly pellets, or it can be wool roving, I believe is what it's called. That's nice for your pins as well. So you can do whatever kind of stuffing that you typically like to do. If you don't have crushed walnut shells, I know someone in our group suggested you could even weight the pouches with some washers, with some big washers. You might even like put one in, sew, put another one in, and then sew it closed, just to give it some weight so that they're not falling off when you're setting them on your desk. I found mine it weighs itself pretty well because I have so many clips on it. So you can see mine here. It's just stuffed with stuffing. That's all mine is, I believe. It's been a while since I made that one, but I do have pins all the way around, and so it does weigh itself down pretty well and doesn't fall off my desk area. So that's it. When you're all finished, you're gonna sew this closed, put it in, stuff it the way you want, and then you're gonna need to hand stitch this yourself. This little opening, sorry, you're gonna need to hand stitch that down so that it looks nice on the back. It's not gonna be very easy to sew it on the sewing machine because it's so poofy. Ow. Ouch, that was not a good idea. Pushing down when there's a whole bunch of pins in it. It's not gonna be very easy to get it on your sewing machine. Okay, and that's it, the clip pin cushion. I hope you have great success making them, and I look forward to seeing pictures of the finished product or seeing them in person. Thanks for watching. Bye.